Well, we're back working onto this piece of junk. Where we got left off, we got all the cage removed. We got the bumper removed. We got the front frame removed. We basically got it down to the next step that I want to do, which is the wiring. Now, this is a new body motor, which means this is 97 to 99, and I can make a standalone harness for this car. So I'm going to cut away everything I don't need. So take note, this guy has moved everything. He has taken the time to move all the wiring that is required to make this car run and run reliably, and he's done a really good job. He's got everything pulled out of the fenders, both fenders, everything taken away from the motor, everything brought inside, including, I'm pretty sure this is the fuse panel that goes underneath the dash. Yep, that's the fuse panel that goes underneath the dash, and that's all the way in here. So it is very possible to move all this wiring and have your cars run great. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this wiring out and only keep what I need, which is a lot more, well, a lot less than what he has. So what we're going to do is just start cutting and cutting and cutting until I have what I need to build my harness. And then I'll show you what it looks like when the wiring I don't need is gone. How much nicer does that look? We've taken out all the wiring we don't actually need and just kept what we did. Plus I kept enough to actually make more harnesses in the inside of the car. In the inside of my house. I also did take the time and save this positive that comes from the alternator, and I've made it long enough where it can reach the battery. So then I have another alternator main lead. I've made it so I can hotwire the alternator. If you guys haven't known to hotwire a Toyota Camry alternator, all you have to do is put power to this red middle wire. Ta-da! Anyway, holy. I've also took the time to save this, which is another main positive that I can use from an alternator to a different vehicle. But it's just about it for today. It's about 9:30 at night. Still sunny out, but about 9:30 at night. We just have to plug in our harness from the inside tomorrow night, put a battery in it, throw a fuel tank in it, and see if this thing fires up and drives into the shop, because I'd like to start taking this thing apart and get it out of here. But come back tomorrow. Actually, you know what? It's going to be the same video, so I'll come back tomorrow. You stay right where you guys are. Well, I've done a little bit more work to this. I was going to work on this last night. You can't tell right now, but we had a massive rainstorm last night. All the exhaust ports are just filled with water, so I should have covered the motor is what I'm saying. But we have a gas tank in the car. Now, I have successfully spilled fuel all over this gas tank, front to back, all over it. We have the fuel line in, we have a battery in. So let's see this here. Let's just get the pump to turn on. There we go, pump's on. Let's see if we can jump this thing. You guys ready? Let's see if she'll fire up. Come on. Oh, that's not a good sign. I need some power. Oh, I have no ground. Let's try this again. Ready? Oh. Again. Go, it's trying to go. Come on. Let's just check this out here. Make sure everything's okay with the computer. Get that ground just a little bit better on there. Okay, let's see if this thing will fire up. She's wanting to. Oh, I think the fuel pump's not on now. You're right, fuel pump's not on. You know, it's all about safety here. You just need proper connection. well, I think this thing runs good enough for me to say it runs. It tried to get out. My God, did it try to get out. It looks like a dog dug a hole right there. The back end of this car is so mangled that it just doesn't have the grip to drive it. Look at that tire just ripping itself apart. Holy. I wonder how that looked on video. I guess I'll get to see that when I get to edit this one, how that looked, because it felt pretty awkward inside the car. It felt like it was really going. Obviously it was really going. Holy, look at that. She's just a ripping apart there, bud. Holy, look at the hole. Look at all that. But it runs, it drives, it doesn't have brakes. I found that out. Trying to stop it while the tires were spinning. But it runs and it drives. Now what we can do is we can maybe dig it out of the hole it's in, or maybe pull it out with something. But we can start getting this motor ready to come out. I'm happy. I've seen this thing run for myself. It's got a couple vacuum leaks, so it's idling a little bit high. So we'll have to look into that. But with all his wiring gone, and my simple harness installed, which you guys can see what the difference looks like from what it was now before and what it is now, this thing runs and it runs good. So this means I now have another motor, another set of struts, well maybe one strut because that one looks a little bent, one strut, 2 axles, a motor, and a transmission. Now he did tell me that this transmission was feeling a little iffy near the end of it, so not really sure. I think I'll take the risk on it though. My plan is to take this motor and put it into this car. Probably this car. Now the reason why I'm doing that swap is this car is super clean, super duper clean. And the reason why this car is so clean, this is a California car. See the distributor? See how the coil is on the driver's side strut tower? This is a California car, which means it has spent its life down in the sun and the beach of California. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out this motor, which is a 16 valve, 2.2 liter, and we're going to put in the newer Toyota motor, which is a 2.2 liter. Now the only difference is that this one has a really bad transmission, and that one has actually it might have a bad transmission as well, but not overly sure. But this thing here sat out in the weather now for about a year. Everything's seized on it. The intake's almost seized. It's all full of dirt and crud. This will just become a parts motor. I'm going to need a couple parts off it actually very shortly. So, who knows? I might even take the dash bar out to put inside this car, because this car actually needs a dash bar. So that car is going to become a pretty important tool here, and cutting, placing, replacing, and building other cars. So, happy it runs, happy it drives. It felt like it had lots of power. It felt like it really did try to go. Obviously, look at the dirt it threw everywhere. Dirt everywhere. So we'll get this thing pulled up soon, and we'll get the motor pulled out and put into storage. It's going to need new K-frame. Not sure what else other than that, to be honest. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow.